Shoot. Excuse me. Okay. So, can't hypnotize that. Okay, so I don't think that I should even wait. I don't know if y'all can hear me. I'm gonna just hold it. I'm not even gonna really wait for people to come in because I don't see the point because people come in at the last minute anyway. And excuse this little bump on my face. Like, it's really ugly. But I want to have this conversation because I'm still learning, and I'm still learning a lot of different things about life. And I feel like that if I share my experience, then it could probably help other people in situations like mine. And then you also have to keep in mind, like everybody's going through a struggle. Everybody's going through their own personal struggle. So my problem might not be as big to other people, or their problem might not be as big to the next person. However, we all have, I don't know why I'm so nervous. However, we all have like something that we're battling, something that we're struggling with. And for me, like, my family, like, depression runs in my family. So for me, like, I've never really like fell into a deep depression, but I've been to a point where I didn't really want to do anything. Like, it didn't affect me functioning like I guess that is kind of deep depression because I'm learning now, like, what it means for somebody to be depressed and you not even know it. And sometimes they say, like, the person that knows you the best can tell when you are going through. But I'm really realizing that's not the case. That's not the case because when you depressed, let's not say depressed, when you're upset, when you're going through stuff, when you're having like one of those moments, sometimes you can reach out to people and people say stuff like, well, you'll be okay. You'll get through it. Like, all you gotta do is pray, and stuff like that. And all of that stuff is true. You will get through it. You will definitely make it out if you choose to make it out. If you decide, I don't want to take my life, even though I'm having a bad moment, like, you will get out. But at the end of the day, like, sometimes you just want somebody to listen to you. Like, sometimes you just want somebody to let you get that out. Like I was in a relationship once where, if you really truly know me, I'm a really sensitive person. Like, I come off like raw, you know what I'm saying? But that's because I hide the fact that I'm really a sensitive person. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So little things that other people can just like shake off, I can't. You could do something to me and you not even realize that what you did or what you said hurt my feelings, but it would really hurt my feelings. And I won't tell you it hurt my feelings. I'll just act a certain type of way. So I was in a relationship and the guy was very, like, he had his own insecurities. And hey, Miss Stephanie. He had his own insecurities. And as a man, men don't say I have an insecurity. Men don't say I'm hurt. They just have this like manly thing about them. And some men will be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? It happened. Move on. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff. So that's how he was. And even though I could see that he had a lot of hurt from whatever happened in the past, because a lot of men not going to admit that whatever happened happened to them and it hurt them. So he wouldn't really admit it, but I could see a lot of, insecurities in him from how he would act, or how he would be like real insecure about who I hung with or talked to. And, so when he was the type who would just hide all that and be like, all right, I'm good, So, and I'm like that too, to a certain extent. But when you're with your mate, that's who you're supposed to be able to be the most vulnerable with. Like, so when stuff would happen, throughout your day, things happen. So when you get home, you want to talk to bae. You know what I'm saying? You want to, so stuff that would bother me and stuff that would get to me or like hurt my feelings, I would tell him about, and he'd be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, move on type shit, And that was one of our sore points in our relationship, because I would be like, why can't I be... I would tell him, like, I'm a girl. I'm a girly girl. Like, let me cry. I want to cry. Let me cry. Like, if I want to cry, I should be able to cry. If this hurt my feelings, it hurt my feelings. Like, it is what it is. But then I realized that's society, period. Like, period. Like, if it hurts your feelings, it hurts your feelings. You're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. But that's not the case sometimes with some people. And that's why a lot of people don't voice the fact that they are really hurting, because you're not going to let them cry. You're not going to let them get it out. Like, you're going to hold them accountable for the fact that they having this weak moment. And so for the past couple of months, most of y'all know, like, I lost my brother, and not long after that, I lost I say I lost my job, but I walked away from my job because that was my first time actually dealing with adversity. That was my first time actually being in a situation where I wasn't liked because of who I was. I wasn't liked because of what I was, or what I stood for, or what I meant to myself, like the standard that I held to myself to. I wasn't liked for that type of reason. So being that the person who didn't like me was my superior, there's nothing I can do. I had to step down, So all that broke me. Like, all that shit really broke me. But at the time, like, when everything happened, like when Snoop died, I couldn't react like I probably should have reacted, because at the end of the day, I'm a really, really sensitive person, and that really hurt me. But I got a brother, I got sisters, I got a mama, like, I got nieces and nephew, Valencia, like, you know what I'm saying? So I had to, like, step up and be that. And even now, you know what I'm saying, like, Jahai or Bondi be like, you the big sister, like. So when Snoop died, I had to step up and be that comfort, be that strong support for everybody. With everybody crying, like, we at the wake and Valencia is bawling, and I'm trying to tell her, like, stop crying, because you making Millie cry. Like, I want, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm trying to be that for everybody. And then so the whole week, the funeral, the wake, everything happened that whole week. And after that week, I went back to work. So I didn't really give myself time to, like, deal with how I felt. And so within a couple of months, a couple of weeks off after that, you know what I'm saying, I'm dealing with the drama at my job. And then it get to the point where now I got to step down. So I lost my brother, and in my head, I lost my job. So I took a massive pay cut, like a massive pay cut. I went from, like, full-time to part-time, and it fucked me up. But instead of saying it fucked me up, instead of dealing with what I was dealing with, I threw myself into other stuff. Like, I started, being more focused on my family and other stuff that, like, made me happy and made me feel good. And, you know what I'm saying, I try not to dwell on little shit and stuff. But at the end of the day, when it was time for me to look for another job, the realization of the fact that you were still struggling with the fact that you had to walk away, that's when the realization, it set in, like, damn, that hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the realization, with my brother, like we can post pictures all day, every day. We can watch videos, post pictures, we do all that. But, like, that's that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that. That's it. Like, for 29 years, for 29 years, you know what I'm saying? Like when we say, when we post, like when I post or Jihad post or we post and be like Thompson strong, like being a Thompson was really symbolic for us. Like if you like if you truly know us as like real people, you know what I'm saying? If you know me, if you know Snook, if you know Jihad, like, we hold ourselves to a certain standard. Like, so that's why we go so hard the way we go hard, because we hold ourselves to a certain standard. So, to be a Thompson to us, it really means something. So, losing Snook, that is really is it's hard. It's really hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's still a hard pill to swallow. And then, like, people don't even really know. And I'm only sharing this because, y'all, I swear, like, I feel like if I tell my story, like, it'll help somebody else, because I've been in a real crazy place, and people don't really know our story. Like, me and Snoop used to be best friends, and like, we kind of like grew up. Like, he grew up with my mom and my brother and my sisters, and I grew up with my grandma, but we all kind of stayed. We always was around each other. Like, we always lived close by. We was always, like, near each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even now, like, if you really know us now, like, like, me and Snook and Jihad, we didn't necessarily live in the same house, but y'all know, you know what I'm saying? We was around each other. Like, you knew we was brothers and sisters or whatever. So I didn't realize for a long time, like even my grandma and like then would tell me, like, your brother jealous of you. But I couldn't see that. I couldn't see that because he was my brother. Like, in my head, because the way my heart is so pure, he's my brother. So I always looked at it like he was my brother, but I didn't realize until we got older, until we got like teenagers, until we got like adult, like had kids. Like, when we got older, I realized what she was saying. Like, he loved me because I was his sister, but he hated me because I was raised by my grandma, and his life growing up was a little bit tough. And so in his eyes, my life was more Mary Poppins, more unicorns and rainbows. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I I mean, I still am, but I was a spoiled kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had a childhood. I played outside. I rode bikes. Like, my cousin Rory, I see he on here. Me and Rory. Rory was my first friend. Like, we was watching Power Rangers together and wrestling. WWE had the Val Kilmer poster on the wall. You know, Batman back in the day. You know what I'm saying? That's when Superman was the ish. And you know, so we went to Six Flags. We had birthday parties. You know what I'm saying? We did all that. But my brothers and them, they did certain stuff, but I guess their childhood was a little bit more rough. So as we got older, it was like me and Snoop was so close. So I knew that he loved me, but at the same time, I knew he couldn't stand me. Because when he could get so mad at me over the littlest thing, y'all. And I promise you, to this day, I'm 32 years old. And I've never, ever gotten into a fight with a female. I only fight boys. And it's usually my brothers. And Snoop could get so mad at me over the littlest thing. To the point, like, every time me and him got into it, it was a big showdown. Like, the cops was probably being called. I probably was finna stab him. Like, he was probably finna pull my hair out. Like, we even went to jail, like, a month before I found out I was pregnant with Jalik. Me and him went to jail because we got into a fight. And the cops came, and we both had bruises on us or whatever. So we had got locked up or whatever, and that was my first time ever being in jail, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, like, y'all know, like, I laugh. I'm like, I like to have fun and shit. That was my first time ever being in jail, and we in the magistrate office, right? And I'm shocked, like, I'm shell shocked. So I'm not talking, I'm not saying, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm just sitting there because I got handcuffs behind my back. So I'm just like sitting there. And he's sitting like 2 rows behind me, and he just tormenting me. Like, he like, yeah, Mika, yeah, you ain't think you was gonna go to jail, huh? Your record messed up, huh? That perfect little record messed up now, huh? And the little police officer dude, like, sir, you gotta stop talking to her. If you don't stop talking to her, and I'm not saying nothing, like, you know what I'm saying, because I'm already hurt and I'm in here. And then it hurt even more because he's sitting behind me, like, it was crazy, like. But so after that, and mind you, my son is 5, so this happened like I found out probably a month later. So this happened like a month before my son, that me and Snoop ended up having to go to jail. So, and my son just turned 5. So in them past 5 years, we was never, ever close like we used to be. We would still hang out. We would still, you know what I'm saying, like, chop it up from time to time. But he realized that I kept my distance from him. So I could tell, like, he would want to hang out. Like, he'd be with my mom and them, and he'd be like, where Mika at? Or, you know what I'm saying, like, he'll, you know, if he on the phone, my mama, he'd tell her to call me on 3-way. We would do little stuff together, but we had never got close like that again. Like, we had never got as close as we did, as we used to be. So it's like, when you sit down and you think about it, you be thinking, like, could we have fixed that? But then at the same time, it's like, and deep down, I don't think we could have, because I really feel like, you know, that's how he felt. Like, he loved me, but he hated me at the same time. But at the end of the day, he can never say I did anything malicious to him, because that was my brother. Like, even my grandma, like, you need to stop dealing with him. He did it. And I always, like, that was my brother. Same thing with Jahai. Like, Snoop used to be so hard on Jahai sometimes. And me and Snoop would get into big blowouts over. Like, I would call him, why you treating him like this? Mika, he a man. Like, we would just get into big old things. So it's like, I didn't see him all the time. I didn't speak to him every day. So every day is not like a dragging hard day. But at the end of the day, when you finally like realize like that's it. Like that's it. So with that, with losing him and trying to come to terms with all of that, and then I had to step down from my job and like take like a bro, that shit, it still hurt my feelings. And then for me and for a lot of other females out there, it's only you. Like the lights, the water, the car payment, the car insurance, the insignificant little things, the gas money, the school dances, the Kleenexes, the Mucinex. Excuse me, y'all. Like, it's all on you. And I'm not trying to throw no dabs or shots at either one of my kids' fathers. Because at the end of the day, they my kids. Regardless of who their daddy is, they my kids. You know what I'm saying? I got to take care of my kids. These are my kids. But when you got that, when you are the brick to the house, you can't build the house without a foundation, and you are that foundation. I am the one and only breadwinner. I have to make sure that I do enough so my lights stay on, and I do enough so my water is on. And not only just the bare minimums, not only just that, but you want to live a life. You want to do shit with your kids. You want your kids to live a life. You want to live a life. You want to go do stuff. You want to like, so all of that, Snooki taking that step down, what I feel is down, trying to take care of, run a whole household by yourself. Like, and it's so, when people say stuff, like I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they're like, I mean, how much do you really have to pay? Like, how much is your rent? I mean, you don't have to do this all the time like that. You know what I'm saying? When people say stuff like that, my first question is, how many adults in your house? How many adults in your house? So as I'm talking to her, I'm like, so who you stay with? I mean, me and my partner got kids, you know what I'm saying? But they teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so what you telling me is that y'all pretty much half everything. Even if you say, oh, I pay the water bill, she pay the light bill, you're pretty much half in every damn thing, right? That's what we're saying. That's not it over here. That's not how this goes at my house. That's not how this rocks at my house. If I miss a day, that's money off of a check. That means somebody ain't getting paid. That means something ain't right. If I ain't grinding, if I ain't out here making money, if I ain't out here doing what I got, it's different if it's just me. And that's the type of shit. Like I said, I ain't throwing no dads and no fathers at all, because there are fathers out there that do their thing. And if you don't do your thing, I don't give a damn. But the crazy thing for me is, it's obligated for the mama to be on her shit. Because if the mama not, if the kid outside and the hair ain't done, if the diaper dirty, the kid home alone, mama at the club on Friday, mama ain't shit. But if daddy at the club every weekend and daddy just happened to say, oh, I don't feel like picking you up today, or oh, I forgot, or oh, you know what I'm saying? Then they'll just go back to mama like, well, you the mama, you know what I'm saying? You picked the nigga. Like, why does that matter if I pick the nigga or not? Why does that matter? But like I said, at the end of the day, it's a society thing. Kids are obligated to be taken care of by the mom, and I get that. But that's not the topic of the discussion. The discussion is when you have all that on you, not to mention the stuff that you already been through. Because sometimes you've been hurt so many times, you just become numb to it. Like, It hurt, it sting, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you prick your finger and it get pink, you hit it. And then, okay, all right, whatever. But deep down inside, all you did was mask the pain. Like, the pain gonna come back. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of months. Like, I've been just, coasting, doing this, having a good time, doing all that fun stuff. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. But at the end of the night, when everything shuts down and all the lights is off and everything is quiet, it's like, Tamika, you work your ass off. Ain't nobody gonna ever say they ain't never seen you work. You work. But look at you now. What are you doing? You went back to the place that you said you didn't even, like, I left this same place to go to this new place just to come back to this same place. That shit hurt. I'm not best friends with my brother, but that's my brother, and I know if I call him, what's up? We talking, we vibing, what's up? But that ain't happening no more. That's not happening no more. You know what I'm saying? I be so tired. I be mentally drained. I be talking to people with tears in my throat. Not in my eyes, because I do a lot to try to keep the tears down. But I could talk to people with tears in my throat, and they talking to me, and we having this conversation, and in the back of my head, I'm telling myself, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And people don't even notice it. People don't even know. So if they talking to me, and I feel like I'm about to take it there, I look away, or I start, like, I play music in my head, like, to keep myself, like, I go through a lot to keep it all together. And I get when people say stuff like, you gonna be okay, because I know I'm gonna be okay, but let me cry. That's the whole point to this story, y'all. Like, this is why people walk around depressed, and you don't even know why. Like, you look at them like, well, bruh, you got a good job, you got a nice house, it's somebody who got it worse than you. That's true. That's so true. I feel you on it. That's so true. But just because they going through what they going through, and because she going through what she going through, and because you got through this, what I'm going through right now, don't make what I'm going through hurt any less. It still hurt. And the reason why people can't tell you that it hurt, because you going to say that. You want to be like, oh, well, I've been there, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, you know what I'm saying? Everybody need advice. Everybody need to know, you know what I'm saying, that they got somebody they can talk to, they got somebody they can call on, or whatever the case may be. But I'm just here to tell y'all, like, especially for a person like me who, I remember fussing with my ex-girlfriend. I'm telling her, like, bruh, people act like I don't have feelings. People act like I'm a robot. Like I don't get sad. I don't get hurt. And she told me, and it cut deep, because it's the realest shit ever. Like, but she said, like, the reason why people treat you like that, because that's how you carry yourself. You carry yourself like you don't have a care in the world. You carry yourself like you don't get hurt. You carry yourself like you don't cry. You carry yourself like, you know what I'm saying, you are that robot that you talking about people looking at you at. And now that I'm going through what I'm going through, and I'm finally realizing, like, no matter how many times I tell myself I'm not going to cry, I got to cry. Because if I don't cry now, I'm going to cry later. And I'm going to cry over nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing. And people say, like, oh, well, Tamika, this is that you going back to Fool On. That's what is it? Like, it's a setback for a major comeback. And I believe it. I do believe that. But y'all, I promise, it don't hurt no less knowing that. Like, I feel good knowing, you know what I'm saying, that God chose me. And I truly believe that God chose me to do something. I truly believe I'm one of them visionary people that's in a box. Like, I'm too big for what I'm doing. I truly believe that. And I know that he taking me where I need to go. And he taking me where I need to be. And I know that because for me, I tried to get out of Aldi's so many times. Like, y'all, I've been on so many interviews while I was working at Aldi's. Because I just like, y'all, I'm just fed up. But none of the interviews worked. And I swear, like, once I came to that decision, that I was like, all right, cool. I'ma just thug this out. We just gonna work and just, you know what I'm saying, make everything happen. By the time I came to that decision, I guess God said my job was done. Because when I was trying to leave, nothing was working. I was going on interviews. I remember being like, I don't want to learn nothing else. Because my DMs and them like, Tamika, you can move up. And I'm like, I ain't trying to move up. I don't even like y'all like that. Whatever. I don't want to learn nothing. I remember I even had a conversation. Because I talked to God, y'all, for real. Because y'all know my grandma passed. I've been raised in the church. So I talked to God. So I remember having a conversation like, all right, God, like, I'm going to just do this. But I ain't going to like it. And, you know what I'm saying, I ain't really trying to elevate. I just want to do what I know. Straight across the board. Straight across the board. That's all I want. Straight across the board. Right when I said that, my store manager went on vacation. And I had to learn all the stuff that I said I didn't want to learn. Like, she on vacation, so we got to try to figure out this. And me being a female on a male team, because, you know, males is not as detail-oriented as women. You know what I'm saying? We like things to be precise. And my store manager was a woman. So the guys didn't do certain things the way she liked. So it was things I had to learn. It was things I had to pick up on. Like, and I remember, like, sitting in the office at Aldi's, like, I mean, we talked about this. Like, I don't get what you doing. Like, I said I didn't want to do this, but God's plan is definitely different from my plan, because I swear, like I tell you, it's been many times I try to get up out of Aldi's, and every time it just didn't work. And then I had to keep elevating. And then finally I was like, all right, fine, I'm going to just stay here. This is what you want me to do? I'm going to just stay here. Like, whatever. No. My time was up. My lesson was learned. At the time that I was trying to leave, obviously I didn't learn what I needed to learn. So by the time I finally said, all right, whatever, I'm gonna stay, obviously my lesson was up, but I still wasn't ready to leave. So I tried to make it work. Me and this new boss, we just weren't getting along. So it got to the point where, you know what I'm saying, I ain't trying to leave yet. So I'm questioning myself. Like, well, maybe I'm just too tough. Because, you know, people say I'm a little... So I'm like, all right, maybe it's me. So I would go to work and try to be nice. Try to be, hey, how are you? You know what I'm saying? Even though I couldn't stand him, when I can hear it, he got keys. So when you walk up, and then so he be like, hey, I'm like, hey. You know, I tried to do that. That didn't work. It got to the point where I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to talk. And y'all know I like to talk. I'm not going to talk. That didn't work. It got to the point where it was like, I'm going to have to step down. If I don't walk away, I'm going to get myself in trouble, because I know it's only so much that I can take. And it hurts my feelings when people say stuff like, oh, you walked away. You couldn't deal with that. You couldn't handle that. You couldn't, like, the girl I had a conversation with the other day, and, you know, since I don't work there no more, I don't have no problem telling y'all. But the girl that I worked with, the girl that I had a conversation with the other day, she was like, how much was you making over there, all these? And I was like, $17.50. So you left $17.50? You couldn't make it work for $17.50? He would have just had to do what he had to do, because that's $17.50 and this and that. And that kind of hurt my feelings, but then it pissed me off at the same time, because I was like, you'll sell your soul for $17.50? Because that sounds like slavery to me, you know, like, so despite how somebody treats you, if the pay is good, you gonna tolerate it. Okay. All right. So when people say stuff like that, it does hurt my feelings because I feel like you calling me stupid. I feel like you walked away from 1750. Like, it hurt more than you know. I walked away from 1750 and took a massive pay cut. But at the end of the day, I had to walk away with my integrity, with my dignity, because the more I would have stayed there, I would have lost my integrity. I would have lost my dignity. I would have came out of character, and now I'm creating more problems for myself than I need to create when I could just walk away. And some people look at it like, oh, you gave him what he wanted. You gave them what they wanted. And maybe that might be the case, y'all. I might have gave him what he wanted. But at the end of the day, I didn't give him what he thought he wanted. Because I know I won't be able to do that. So in the midst of me losing my brother, in the midst of me having to take this step down, in the midst of me 1750 versus peace, give me that peace, please. Exactly. But see, This situation is new to me. Like I said, I had never been in a situation where there was adversity towards me from a male. Like, I've worked with females that felt they was kind of intimidated by me, but this was my first time actually going through this, and this was my first time actually having to step down because of it. So when I tell people the story, because they ask like, oh, you back here full on? Oh, here we go. So when I tell people the story, it's like, when they say stuff like, so you couldn't just put up with it, like pick your battles and stuff like that, it showed me like I'm bigger than this. I'm bigger than what I'm going through. I'm bigger than what I was just in. Because if you think like that, I know I'm bigger than you. I know, and I ain't got to be the cutest. I ain't got to be the baddest. I ain't got to be none of that. But what I'm not going to do is sell my soul to anybody. And people, you could say it's the white man, the black man, whoever, the Indian man. I'm not going to sell my soul to anybody for no amount of money. So I stepped down. And it hurt. It hurt, y'all. I lost my brother and it hurt. I get scared of because if I don't do it, who gonna do it? It's just me. I got 2 kids. And it's just me. Like, and I didn't even really realize how it was just me until maybe like a few weeks ago. Me and my mom and Jahai had went out to eat, and I couldn't get to Jaleel on time, like what I normally would get to. So I'm calling people, mainly his dad, but I'm calling people like, hey, I need somebody, to get Jaleel. I couldn't find nobody. Nobody can go get my son. So when I got there, he was like the last kid there, and Reese is he's still with you, just not in the physical. I know, and I can't change that. But anyway, the whole point of this conversation is, y'all, like, depression is really real. Like, people not gonna tell you that they going through what they going through, because a lot of time it's downplayed. And like I said, everybody's going through something different. Everybody's struggle is different. But I feel like with me, like a lot of people talk to me Like, people call me, like, people that I used to work with, they still call me, still text me and talk to me about anything. When I tell y'all anything, like, some of the stories that I done heard from some folk, I be like, bro, we only known each other for a little while, but I feel like people talk to me because I don't judge you. I mean, let me take it back. I got a couple of friends that I been having to tell them, girl, you're stupid. But that's because they keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. But I'm not going to judge you. I don't want to see you cry, but if you got to cry, baby, let's cry. Like, that's the one thing that I really miss about when I did work at Aldi's, and my boss, Donna, and my favorite, most lovable employee, Kyrie. You know, when you work around women, sometimes y'all periods link and stuff, so we will all kind of be emotional around the same time, and we would joke about it because it'd be like certain, like, one of them would come in one day and be like ready to cry, and then the next one. So that was the type of feeling. That's the type of feeling that I feel like other people should give. Like, I feel like coming from this video, I feel like that's the type of feeling that people want. Like, we literally would go in and just bust out crying. And we would let the other person cry. And be sitting there, snot coming out there. And we'd be sitting there like, yeah, let them get it out, And then we would hug each other. And we could walk away like, because things, it didn't necessarily fix the problem, but you just feel better. So I'm just going to wrap this up. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is depression is real. And it's really real to the point where it could be so deep. Man, bump them people in them opinions top right. You're going to realize they stepped in with a step up. And more. Watch what unfolds next week. Oh, God. I'm excited, but I'm scared, and I'm still hurt. Like, oh, God. But all I'm saying is, like, y'all, if you are feeling like this is just getting to be too much, this is just too much. And I know, a lot of us women, we get to that point because we have to be a lot of different things. We wear a lot of different hats. So if it ever gets to that point where it says, this is just too much, I need everybody. Don't listen to when people say, if you need anything, just call me. If you want to talk, just text me. I'm not going to tell you that. And I'm not saying that you can't text me or call me, but I'm not going to tell you that. But I need you to find somebody, not just anybody, somebody that's going to let you cry. Because the world don't want to see you cry. They might, but then they're like, it's okay. But I need you to find somebody that's going to let you cry. Because if you don't find somebody to let you cry, if you don't find a way to not even cry, like, if you just gotta find a way to, like, get it out to where you acknowledging it, and you figuring out strategies to deal with it, because that's the only reason why I cry. I'm crying now, or I have cried, because I finally got to the point a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, where I finally had to, like, sit down and, like, just be honest with myself. I just had to tell myself the real deal. Like, I just had to be honest with myself and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like Reese just said, like, everybody call him Loke, but Snooki, like, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? No matter what he felt about me, no matter how many times we fight, whatever, that's my brother. And I'm a fixer. Like, I like to fix things, and I like for people to, like, be happy when they're around me, and you know what I'm saying? I'm the life of the party. Like, crying, all that sound. I don't get down with all that. But I had to finally stop and look in the mirror and just be like, bro, that hurt, bro. Like, Like, somebody felt that somebody was so angry. Somebody was so angry. And somebody thought so low. And I'm not saying my brother was an angel, because God knows he wasn't. And there's been many times I want to beat him. It's been many times anybody who ever hung around him when you want to whoop his ass. But it just hurt my feelings when I think about, like, somebody thought so low. Somebody was so mad at my brother that they went out and did what they did. And I gotta replay. I try not to think about it, but I still replay a lot of things in my head, like, you know, and I try not to, because it made me sad, and I don't like being sad, but my sister, I still see my sister's phone number pop up on my phone. Like, I can still see it say Giovanna. And the unique thing about that, the irony about that is Giovanna never calls me. We always be on Snapchat. We talk on Snapchat, so she never calls me. So it's like, and I always cut my ringer off at night. But I didn't that night. So my ringer was on, and my sister's name is popping up on my screen. And I vaguely remember what she said, but I remember she said, Snooki dead. And I ain't want to believe her, because when she said it, my grandma was calling me. She was beeping in, so I told Bonner that I call her back, because it wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yeah, I'll call you back. So my grandma called. And she started the conversation off the same way that Giovanna started the conversation off. Like, did you talk to your mom? Did you talk to your mom? And I'm getting mad, because I'm like, no. Why y'all keep asking me that? Like, why y'all keep asking me that? Like, just tell me what's going on. And it's taking her a second to tell me, like, I need you to calm down. And I'm like, Grandma, I'm getting so mad at her. And I'm like, Grandma, just tell me what's going on. And she say Snooki passed away. No, she say Eric passed away. And it just hurt, because somebody was that mad at him that you shot my brother in his neck, in his head. You shot my brother. And the girl that was there with him, she was like, he never got off the couch. He never moved off the couch. He never came off that couch. And it kills me on the inside, because you could kind of see it. You could kind of see it when somebody's explaining it to you, like the black couch against the wall. You can kind of see it in your head. And you don't know what he was thinking. And we really don't even know, like, we want to believe that first shot took him out, but we don't know. So it's like, what was he thinking? Did he have time to think? Did he have time to say anything? You know what I'm saying? He got 2 kids that he adored. Like, did he think about Millie and Zai? Like, it's just a lot that go through my head. And then at night, like, Jahad made a post one time, like, at night, you can't really sleep because stuff start replaying in your head. And that's how it be. And, like, now, mine done traveled to, like, if you knew my brother, like, when I think about him, like, he was just so solid. He was just this big, muscular, solid dude. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about a big, muscular, solid dude, they in that box. They in that ground. And at some point, and because I'm a deep thinker, and this might blow some people's mind, but I'm a really deep thinker. I think about everything. I replay a lot of scenarios. And so my mind wanders anywhere. So sometimes at night, it be like, you think about that big muscular body and you realize, like, the longer a body is in the ground, at some point the skin starts to, like, disintegrate, and eventually at some point you just all bone, and it's really ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So it's really hard to swallow it, because, like, bro, you were so big. How could this happen? You are so big. But anyway, I said I'm gonna wrap this up. I keep saying it. But anyway, I got on here because I just wanted to share some of my inner dark moments that I have, because I know everybody has them, and it's not something that people like to talk about, but I feel like, you know, sometimes you need to just need to, you know, tell your side, tell your story, and you never know who your story might help and who your story might heal. And I'm still learning, and I'm still going through stuff, and I'm still, you know, putting stuff together. But I just wanted to get on live because I realized, like, how people really can go through life and you would never know that they was depressed. You would never know that they was hurt, and you would never know that they was going through what they go through, because they make it look so good. They make it sound so pretty, you know what I'm saying? But that's not always the case. And when it comes down to it, like, you gotta let people cry. You gotta let people cry. You know what I'm saying? I've been a strong person all my life. I still consider myself a strong woman. And I just, at one point, you know, I really believed that crying was a sign of weakness for me. And when I say that, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because if you ask my kids don't cry in front of me. They know I don't like crying. I don't cry in front of them. They don't cry in front of me. Unless they truly, truly hurt. But even then, they'll try not to cry in front of me, because that's just how I am. Like, if you're not about to die, you know what I'm saying? So, crying, for me, I used to think it was a weak thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get over it. Snap out of it. Get up. Get back up. You got shit to do. But I'm here to tell y'all, you got shit to do. That is true. But if you don't cry, baby, not even cry. If you don't cry, you don't shout, you don't get it out. You can only coast for so long. You can only coexist for so long. You gotta get it out. You have to get it out, because the longer you hold that junk in, I promise you, it's gonna eat you up in other ways that it shouldn't. So, moral of the story is, y'all, like, everybody got a story to tell. So tell it. Tell your story. Don't hide behind the shame. Don't hide behind, because everybody got a past. Everybody got a story to tell. Everybody got a struggle that they're going through. Everybody got a story to tell. Tell your story. Don't hide behind the likes, the posts, the laughs, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to tell you, I done hid behind all that. If you ever see me, y'all probably like, oh my gosh, she crying. Nah, listen. And that's because that's how I carry myself. I carry myself like, the Iron Man. So I wanted to make this live and let you know we human. We human, and if it hurt you, it hurt you. If it upset you, it upset you. It don't matter how big, how small. Somebody else might be like, oh, let it go, you know what I'm saying? And some stuff, you do need to let it go. But at the end of the day, if it hurt you, it hurt you. Can't nobody tell you how hurt you supposed to be. And I say that, and I don't know if Valencia on here, but I want to tell Valencia that too, because I remember at the wake, like I said, I told Valencia, don't cry, but I take that back, and I apologize. Cry, baby. Cry. You got to. Because if we don't let this shit out now, it's just going to go with us. And me and Valencia, especially her now, like this is a new life for her. We single moms out here. You got a little bit of help here and there, but it's all on us, baby. We got to let this out though, so we can get bigger, so we can grow from this. Let it out, y'all. Tell your story. Don't be shameful, like, cause I was nervous as hell to get on this live and, you know what I'm saying, tell my story. But I was listening to TD Jakes this morning. He was telling me, you know what I'm saying, you can't give up in the steps. You gotta go through certain steps to get where you gotta go. And the steps may be hard and they seem unbearable. And that's where I was at. I was ready to give up in my steps. But like they say, the moment you give up, you right around the corner from where you're supposed to be. And I resented the fact that I had to go to Food Line. But I woke up this morning, I listened to my TD Jakes. He told me don't give up in my process, in my steps. Don't give up on your steps because you might be right there, So I go to work in a beautiful mood. As soon as I walk in the door, my store manager is talking to another cashier. And he said, as soon as I walk in, I don't know what they talking about, but as soon as I walk in, he say, be patient with yourself. You gonna get there. So as soon as I clocked in, I went to go find him. Anthony, where you at? And I sat there and I had this whole conversation with him about it, because he asked me like, well, I said, I've been in a dark place. He like, well, why? When? He didn't even know. And I said, I listened to my TD Jakes, and as soon as I walked in here today, you said to somebody else, be patient with yourself. You gonna get there. So I made this live. I love you and I'm here for you. Let it out. I love you too. I love all y'all. I love all y'all. And when I say that, I really mean it. Like, people, like, when y'all see me, when y'all be seeing me in the stores and stuff, I always be like, I love all y'all. So I'm just here to let y'all know, like, let it out. Trust this process. This process gonna hurt. And don't let nobody tell you it ain't gonna hurt. And yeah, you're gonna be okay, but if you're not okay right now, it's okay to not be okay right now. And right now, I'm okay. But see, yesterday I wasn't okay, but you wouldn't have known that, because we had the Sky Zone or the Fire Gravity or wherever the hell was. They was jumping around, and birthdays and, cakes and everything, and doing all this, you know what I'm saying, extra stuff. You wouldn't even have known. You couldn't see that I woke up feeling like shit. I woke up like sick in my spirit. But I had to put this smile on because it's my son's birthday. He ready to go jump. I got to get my niece. I got to get my nephew. And my nephew, Lord, he a handful, so I need to put my shit to the side. But throughout all of that, all the pictures, all the videos, you would have never known that on the inside I was slowly giving up on myself. Really, giving up on myself. And I say that because I threw myself. If you notice, I hung out with my family a lot. I didn't want to focus on my own feelings. I'd rather be doing other stuff. I was giving up on myself, and you would have never known. You would have never knew. You would have never knew. Like, I'm handling the situation with my brother pretty well, but on the inside, it hurt because you always had those shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You know what I'm saying? So just let it out, y'all. Like, tell your story. I'm telling my story. You tell your story. I want to hear your story. If, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't gonna tell nobody. If you need to talk to me, because people say that and they don't really mean it. But talk to somebody. Write it down. Sing a song. Do a couple cartwheels. But let that out. You gotta let it out. Because if you don't let it out, I promise you, you're gonna start lashing out at your kids. You cussing out the mailman because he put your shit in the mail and it fell on the ground. You mad at the dog because he chewing on the same damn carpet that he was been chewing on. It's gonna eat you up if you don't let it out. So just let it out. Just tell your story. And I love y'all. And thank y'all for all the support and the love and listening to me. I love y'all, for real, for real. And I'm gonna be okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. That's why I made this live. I'm okay. That's it.